As per the WHO report, the number of people living with dementia worldwide as on 2015 was estimated at around 47.47 million. This is likely to reach around 75.63 million in 2030, and it is going to triple in the year 2050. Dementia is one of the major causes of disability and dependency among elderly worldwide. It can be overwhelming not only for people who have dementia but also for the carers and families who globally provide the majority of care and support. As the number of people with dementia is increasing rapidly, there is a need for awareness generation regarding this disease and its effect on the client and their family and the ways of caring for a senior citizen with dementia. Forgetfulness can be a result of stress, fatigue, illness, malnourishment, etc., and can be corrected by treating the cause. However, sometimes cause of forgetfulness is more than just environmental factors and other illnesses. Organic changes in the brain structure due to aging, stroke, etc., can lead to loss of cognitive functions in persons. So, dementia is one such neurodegenerative disorder marked by cognitive and behavioral impairment that significantly interferes with social and occupational functioning. It is an incurable disease. This disease cannot be cured with a long preclinical period and progressive course. In other words, dementia progresses, the person experiences a gradual loss of cognitive functioning like thinking, remembering, and reasoning and behavioral abilities due to abnormal changes in the brain to such an extent that it interferes with a person's daily life and activities. Dementia is different from ordinary forgetfulness, which may be caused due to stress or some other environmental factors, while dementia is a serious condition wherein the person gradually loses his or her cognitive ability to remember and identify frequently used objects. Now let us see about the difference between dementia and delirium. Very often dementia is confused with another state of mental aberration called delirium. The reason for this confusion, lack of awareness, and secondly the fact that many symptoms of delirium resemble that of dementia. However, dementia and delirium are completely different problems with different cause and treatment. First, dementia is a progressive disease, hence it begins slowly and is gradually noticed over a time, while delirium is a sudden change in nature. Secondly, dementia is caused due to organic changes in the brain, while delirium is caused due to illness like dehydration, urinary tract infections, drugs, withdrawal, drug-induced low sodium, etc. Thirdly, dementia is also a progressive and chronic disease without any cure. Delirium can last for a couple of days to even a couple of months and can be cured. A person's level of alertness is typically not affected until the late states of dementia, whereas memory is significantly affected throughout the disease. In contrast, memory functioning is usually less affected in delirium, but the ability to focus and maintain attention is very poor. Fifthly, dementia tends to not affect a person's activity level until later stages, while people with delirium are often either overly active or underactive compared to usual functioning. Finally, dementia is incurable. Medications don't cure dementia but can slow the progression of the symptoms. Delirium, on the other hand, is curable. It is usually caused by a physical illness or infection. Medications such as antibiotics often resolve the condition of delirium. So, difference between dementia and depression. Often there is a great confusion in the mind of the caregiver regarding depression and dementia. A diagnosis by doctor is strongly suggested to identify the symptoms as dementia or depression. However, there are some differences between the two observable by common man. Points. So, dementia takes weeks or months to develop, while depression develops faster than dementia. Dementia leads to gradual loss of memory, while despite memory lapses, those with depression will be able to remember something when asked. A person with dementia displays symptoms of depression that are less severe, while intense, depressed mood, feelings of extreme sadness, hopelessness, and discouragement are frequent among persons with depression. A person with dementia seems less likely to talk of suicide, while a depressed person will have recurrent thoughts of death or suicide. So, there are various types of dementia. The most common form of dementia is that of Alzheimer's disease. The early characteristic symptoms are impaired memory, apathy, and depression. It has a gradual onset. The progression is very slow. The second most common form is vascular dementia. The early characteristic symptoms are similar to Alzheimer's disease, but memory is less affected, mood fluctuations are very prominent. It has a stepwise progression like Alzheimer's disease. And frontotemporal dementia, the early symptoms are personality changes, mood changes, disinhibition, and language difficulties. Lewy body dementia, which is marked by fluctuation in cognitive ability, visual hallucination, Parkinsonism, like there may be conditions of tremor and rigidity. It is very important to understand the risk factors of dementia to plan preventive interventions. Understanding the modifiable risk factors would help in selecting the intervention strategies. Understanding the non-modifiable risk factors would also help in selecting the high-risk groups and planning targeted preventive intervention. When universal intervention is not feasible, so these kind of targeted interventions are very successful. Modifiable factors are vascular diseases, hypertension, obesity, smoking, vitamin B deficiency. These all come under the category of modifiable risk factors. Adding to this, these days are air pollution and also sedentary lifestyle. So, there are non-modifiable risk factors also. So, that includes age, family history, head injury or a trauma, depression, mutation on 1, 14 and 21 chromosomes. So, demographics of dementia in India and around the world. The number of people living with dementia worldwide in 2015 was estimated at 47 million, which is now around 50 million, and this is likely to reach around 75.63 million in 2030, and it is going to triple by 2050, reaching up to 135 million. And majority of persons living with dementia are in the low and middle income countries, where access to social protection services, support and care are very, very limited. There are around 3.6 million new cases per year in Asia alone, and 2.3 million new cases in Europe, and 1.2 million cases in the Americas, and 0.5 million cases in the Africa. So, this is according to WHO 2020 report. Presently, there are around 5.29 million people in India living with dementia who are aged above 60, of which around 55% are women and 45% are men. The prevalence of dementia keeps on increasing steadily with age, and higher prevalence is seen among older women than men. So, the incidence can be seen in the given graph. As the graph shows, the highest in Asia, with the maximum number of cases being diagnosed among senior citizens between the age group of 75 and 79 years, are more prevalent. the number of cases fall sharply beyond that. In Europe, which has the second highest incidence of dementia after Asia, maximum number of cases are diagnosed between the age 80 to 84 and then gradually declining with the rise of age. In the Americas, which includes North, Central and Latin America, the incidence of dementia is much lower. Like Europe, the maximum number of cases are diagnosed among the persons at 80 to 84 years of age group. Africa has the lowest incidence of dementia with the maximum number of cases diagnosed among the persons above 80 to 84 years of age group. It can be seen that the incidence of dementia gradually rises from 60 to 64 and reaches its peak by say 80 to 85 years. Throughout the world, with the exception of Asia, and then the decline can be sharply seen beyond 85 years of age. At present in 2020, we have an estimated population of 5.29 million people having dementia, and as I said earlier, it is in the ratio of 45 to 55%, like 45% men and 55% women are affected by this. There will be a steady rise in numbers of incidents with more than 14.32 million people with dementia in India by 2050. The state-wise prevalence as per the Dementia India report, by 2026, more than 5 lakh older people with dementia will live in Uttar Pradesh and Maharashtra. In Rajasthan, Gujarat, Bihar and West Bengal, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, around 20,000 to 40,000 persons with dementia are expected within the next 26 years. So Delhi, Bihar and Jharkhand are expected to experience 200% incremental growth of the existing numbers. So Jammu and Kashmir, Uttar Pradesh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, West Bengal, Assam, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, all these states are estimated to have 100% increase. The societal cost of taking care of dementia is quite high compared to other diseases. The cost of illness can be classified into direct cost, indirect cost, and the direct cost essentially means medical and non-medical costs. Those are incurred directly by the beneficiaries in direct treatment and care of dementia within or outside the formal healthcare system, like paying the physician, caregivers, purchase of medications within the formal healthcare system. The indirect costs are those that are related to consequence of dementia, like reduction in workforce, like if you are productively engaged because of looking after the person with dementia, so you may end up losing your potential livelihood. So absenteeism, loss of productivity due to informal care, loss of wages, loss of profits, resources lost, etc. are all part of indirect costs. The societal cost of dementia varies across the world. Cost for informal care is highest in lower and middle income countries at 64.7%, followed by low income countries at 57.6%. The reason may be attributed to the lack of formal care facilities and high dependence on family care system. The share of direct social and medical cost, which includes the cost of residential care, hospitalization, medicines, consultation, is highest in the high income countries. This is followed in upper middle income countries, signifying the dependence on formal care systems. So in India, with the estimated population during 2010 when it was 3.7 million, the societal cost estimated was around rupees 147 billion. Now, just extrapolating the same cost on the current figure of 5.29 million, it is around 220 billion Indian rupees, while informal care is more than the total cost, that is 56%, and nearly 2/3 of the total cost is direct medical cost. Studies from India indicate that 23% of caregivers, that is 17% primary caregivers and additional 6% of other caregivers, cut back on the work, and nearly a quarter of all caregivers suffer economic losses as they are unable to fulfill their work responsibilities or even other responsibilities. Families from poorest section of the society are likely to use expensive private medical services and spend more than 10% of the per capita income, resulting in loss of gross domestic product on health care, further pushing them into impoverishment. Effective management of dementia and reduction in informal cost of dementia, we can develop and promote residential care facilities like daycare centers for persons with dementia, NGOs, as well as regular capacity building programs for healthcare personnel on dementia care and management. Promoting domiciliary care services by trained and certified personnel for persons with dementia. Create awareness on dementia among general population. We need to also create awareness and demand for available services. Make available affordable drugs and also essential services which may be required by people living with dementia. So, we need to remember certain points. While concluding this topic, we must remember the fact that dementia is not part of normal aging and is different from simple forgetfulness and lack of attention. There has to be an aspect of dementia friendliness when we take care of people. It is loss of cognition and resulting in functional movements, thinking, remembering and reasoning and behavioral abilities due to abnormal changes in brain. Dementia is different from delirium or depression in its cause and treatment, although some of the symptoms overlap and may cause confusion for the caregiver, but we need to be properly educated on that. There are different types of dementia. Most common types we have already discussed. One is the major type is Alzheimer's dementia, which is followed by vascular dementia and frontotemporal dementia and also Lewy body dementia. India will have around say 14.32 million people by 2050. The informal care cost of dementia is higher in lower and middle income countries, while direct and social and medical cost is higher in higher income group countries, signifying availability and dependence on type of facility. Meaning, in high income countries, people get this kind of services very easily, whereas here in India, it is more home based, and so the burden is more on the family care and family members. The calculated total societal cost of dementia for India is estimated, as I said, it is 220 billion INR. Families from the poorest section of society are likely to use expensive and private medical services and spend more than 10% of their income, per capita income. That kind of health care is going to push them into more poverty. So, we will see you with another very informative topic on dementia, in which we will be discussing the causes, stages and symptoms of dementia. Thank you.